Hi guys, and welcome to the Volkswagen Golf 8. Now this is a very important car because a lot of people will buy this in one form or another. This car will be in production for a number of years. This is a brand new platform, a MEB platform for Volkswagen, the 8th generation of the people's car, the rather expensive people's car nowadays, but still a lot of people buy this. Why? Because it's sort of the best you can buy for the money, and I'm gonna be blunt and state my conclusion in the beginning of the video. I like this car, and if you are in the marketplace for a hatchback or a estate in the ballpark of 30,000 euros, you don't want a sporty car, you just want a car that's comfortable, full of safety tech, etc. This is probably the best hatchback you can buy, period. And over the next few minutes I'm gonna tell you why I think this is the best hatchback, the king of hatchbacks still. So first things first, this is the 1.5 liter eTSI, which means this is a petrol engine that has a small electric engine, so to say, a 48-volt powertrain, helping with stop and start situations. It's not gonna improve your fuel economy much, but it will help with the smoothness of the drive, and that's a key feature because this car feels so silky smooth, and for some reason it feels so much better than the Seat Leon I drove a couple of months ago, something like that. It also had the 1.5 liter petrol engine, the eTSI. It's the exact same engine, 110 kilowatts, so it should be the same, but somehow it's just so different. In this car it's sedated, it's so smooth, you don't notice when the car starts, when it stops. You actually feel the electric engine or powertrain helping you out. And also the sound of the engine is a tad different, I have to say. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's because the Leon is not so refined as the Golf is, but somehow this 1.5 liter, it sounds fine, it sounds perfectly fine, whereas in the Leon it sounded like a diesel. How is that? I'm not sure, but this car sure sounds a hell of a lot better. Performance. I'm gonna insert a 0 to 100 km/h draggy acceleration here. I'm gonna turn off ASC first, see what it does. So 3, 2, 1. Lots of wheel spin. So that was 100 km/h, and yeah, not my best time, but off camera I did a 8.4. Factory claims that it will do 0 to 100 km/h in something like 8 to 9 seconds, depending on conditions, etc. That is reasonably fast. You probably will not need a faster car anyways. If you're just driving around town, this has plenty of grunt in the down low, and if you thrash it, it will go high up in the RPM range, and yeah, no problem whatsoever. Driving feel. Steering is lighter than the Leon was, again somehow. I have tried different modes. I'm in comfort right now. There's also eco mode for your eco needs, a sporty mode which will actually make the steering heavier. Throttle response is better, and the car feels a bit more planted. I'm sure it's just a feeling because this car does not have the dynamic dampers, DCCD, whatever the letters were. Steering wheel is thicker, feels much more upmarket than the Leon was. Again, somehow, I don't know why, it just does. It feels a bit more like the Škoda's was, the Škoda Octavia. Those are, by the way, the two cars I am comparing this car with, because they are the direct competitors to this Volkswagen Golf. And I say competitors, I mean they are actually siblings. The same platform, same engines, same ideology, same everything basically. But somehow they are so very different. The Škoda is a B car, a sedan or a state car. It's a family car, so to say. It doesn't have hatchback in its lineup. The Leon is supposed to be, oh Leon, the old version. That actually brings me on to a good point. The Leon should be the sportier version, but somehow it just felt so dull. And even if it was the FR version, which by the way now is only the model line, just options and design language, not a sporty engine, it still felt so boring somehow. And the quality on this Golf is just so much better. On the outside, again, in the previous generation, if you gave me an option whether I could pick a Seat Leon Cupra, for example, or a Golf GTI, I would have gone for the Cupra any day of the week, because I liked how it looked. It was a sleek looking design inside and out. Yes, of course, the materials inside weren't as good as the Golf, but somehow the Cupra and the Seat spoke to me. In this generation, it just does not. I'm sorry, it just does not. The Golf is so much more upmarket. It feels expensive on the interior, and on the outside they look the same. I'm sorry, but they just do. Touching things like the steering wheel, materials used on the interior around the car, yeah, it's worth the extra cash. It is really worth the extra cash. And it feels smoother as well. The gearbox, this is the DSG, of course. I don't even know which version it is, but it is a newer version of the DSG, and it works just so smooth. You don't notice the gear changes, and that's how it's supposed to be. It almost feels like an electric car, a CVT car, but then again, if you thrash it, it changes gears, it works, and you can actually change gear by yourself with the pedals, so it just works both worlds so nicely. I spec'd my cars. I did the both versions of the cars. I did the Leon. Well, this is crap, I'm gonna turn around. I did the Leon, and I also did the Golf. The Golf turned out roughly €1,000 more expensive than the Leon. €1,000. That's nothing when you compare new car prices. Nothing. €1,000, so you can get a more upmarket badge, so you get a better car, you get a better engine and gearbox combination somehow. It's just better. Well, this is a dead end. Oh crap. Yay for me. If there wasn't any badges, I could sell this car probably as a Audi or a Mercedes or a BMW, because that's how good this car is on the interior. And I haven't even had a chance to talk about the safety tech on this car, which there is a lot of. I mean, you have adaptive cruise control as standard, side assist, which is the blind spot monitoring. I think it's standard. It might be, it might not be. Okay, never mind. But again, lane assist, adaptive cruise control, city braking, most of it is as standard. This big screen right here, I think it was 10 inches or something like that. This is standard, Yes, the navigation is an optional extra, but do not get it because you can have Apple CarPlay, and it would be just stupid to get the navigation these days. Let's go there, I think. This car right now here is around €26,000 base price, You can option this out, of course, with, you know, panoramic sunroofs and nicer headlights, LED lights, which this car has, by the way, and you should get, because the standard LEDs look just so poor. But you can get this car with a very nicely optioned out package for 26,000 euros. Add some of the bits and bobs and you're looking something right around 28,000 euros. Get a good discount from the dealer, and realistically you are looking at a 25,000 euro car. 25. It's a bargain for 25,000 euros. If you want a hybrid, I would probably suggest you buy the new Corolla, but only if you want the full hybrid experience, because this is the half hybrid experience, so to say. Some critical thinking about the car. What don't I like? I wish there was a bit more buttons, but then again, it's better than the Seat was, because you have mode button, menu button, assists button, and a climate control button. Everything you probably want is here. Now that we are stationary, I can show you a bit more easily the buttons and layout used. So down here you have some key buttons: menu, mode, climate control, and assists. These are basically shortcuts for a numerous version of menus, settings, whatever. Here you have your climate control. You can either slide it or you can touch it. It's actually really intuitive, and again, it's better than the Skoda's and the Seat's version was. Somehow it's just so easy to operate. Oh, gestures. This is the future. Okay, anyway, no audio knob. This would have been the place to put it. Just a tiny little knob. It would have been perfect. But you have a slider again. Okay, I'm not complaining too much, because you have volume buttons here on the steering wheel, so it's almost okay. Now the system itself, I found it somewhat laggy, especially on a startup. I think it's a software problem, and they will probably solve it in due future. But currently there are still some bugs, but it's okay. It's easy to understand, it's easy to read, no problems here. As I mentioned, you also have Apple CarPlay, which I will show you soon. Let's take a quick look on the outside first. Okay, the wind is atrocious, so I'm just gonna do it quickly. This is the, whatever they call it, green or yellow paint job. I absolutely hate it. It does not look good. It makes it look like baby diarrhea mixed with I don't know, your dog's dinner. It does not look good. Buy this car in black, gray, I don't know, red or whatever you like, but not this color. Also, you will have problems selling this car in the future if you buy it in a color like this. But design language wise, it's definitely a Golf. You recognize it. Clear IQ light taillights, very nice. This is the first edition, so you have nice 17-inch, I think. Probably, yeah. Okay, 17-inch alloys. ID light, which means this is the upgraded version of the headlights. You should get this. It makes the car look so much more better on the outside, and during the night time it really helps. Boot space, quickly. Opening the boot light right here. If you get a rear view camera, it will be stationed here and it will open, so it will not get dirty. Boot size, like a regular hatchback, nothing really to complain about. You can fold down the seats, okay, I guess. Sitting at the rear, my seat is pushed fairly. Now my seat is pushed fairly back, but even like this there is plenty of legroom, pockets for both of the seats, even up here. How nice is this, by the way? It's just such a clever feature. You can put your phone here, Why doesn't everybody make a pocket like this? It's just clever. It's just clever. Quickly about the key, which is updated as well. Very sleek looking, heavy, feels nice in your hand. Keyless entry though is an optional extra, which this car does not have. I'm not sure why, because every car should have keyless entry nowadays as standard, by the way, but this car does not. So boo-hoo. Sitting inside, these are the I have massage. But yeah, you got massaging seats, electrically operated for the driver, manual for the passenger. This is a really nice place to sit. Oh, heated steering wheel as well, which is standard. Thank you. Well, why not? Yes, I'll take it. Heated seats as well, so this is of course very winter capable. You can get a nicer stereo. I think it was 600 euros for the extra upgrade. Probably worth it if you like your hi-fi. So in conclusion, what do I think of the Golf 8? As I said in the beginning of the video, this is still the king of hatchbacks. There is nothing wrong with the car, simply put it. Everything works, everything is simple, materials are great, it looks good, apart from the hideous paint job on this version. It's just a very good car. And if you don't go crazy on the options, this will be a reasonable buy as well. I'm sure the GTI and the Golf R, which has by the way just been introduced, will be even better, but they will cost a lot more. So for the regular people out there, just go right ahead and buy the Golf if you are thinking about it. So thank you for watching. This was it. Bye bye.